So yeah, actually I'm recording audio, watching the chart, sir. So because my audio got missed. So yeah, so this is the chart of SWLX, and I was discussing about a structure. And right now I am on Sonam. So the CVs are really good. We got beautiful extension over there. New event. We got 68% of move. Maybe relativity check-in. यहाँ पे you did tell me that there was some DNA. When I mentioned that I would like to take a trade over here, you did tell me that there is some issue with the DNA. And like I usually trade with the concept of last sell. So the concept of last sell is nothing but high के यहाँ पे आके whenever the price again retests the high continuously, वहाँ से we get a rejection, and वहाँ से we get a move. So that's what I call it the last sell. So यहाँ पे भी but I'm having a doubt about this structure. Whenever we see certain big moves, we feel that यहाँ पे you get good CB candle, and that probably that M shape जो M का curve आया है वहाँ पे I'd be buying, but then you get that and you get the big move. The same thing happened in Tamis Metcalf. So but yeah, again यहाँ पे I started buying. यहाँ पे test हुआ, नीचे आया, you got a good candle, I started buying over here. Small position only, that's a value buy. But again I'll be buying a big buy when it again tests the high, it comes near its 10 on daily, and with lower candles, low volume. So that's where I usually go for 100% capital. I don't do 50% or 30%. For me it's 100% in, 100% out, because I usually play big. And यहाँ पे two things can happen. One, it can go straight, and whenever it goes straight, we have that type of structure, which the similar structure was available in BSE, I guess, similar to like this, because whenever it just breaks over here, it just goes over like this, and यहाँ पे big candles आते हैं, यहाँ पे your, and that particular point we buy, यहाँ पे all your MS will also merge. The same thing happened in BSE. So I guess that particular area you buy. The same thing happened in BSE. I was eyeing that thing. I was eyeing BSE as well. A lot of good, beautiful stocks. I'm getting a hang of it, but certain things were missed. Certain things were bought. I usually buy I don't know why I'm always stuck in a bad stocks. So यहाँ पे SWLX का stock है. Monthly was good, beautiful. यहाँ पे this in one of the lectures you did mention about this thing, and I really like this thing. I've seen this, observed a lot of this thing happening a lot of times. So I just trying to play on this. But यहाँ पे if you see, I was playing on structure. Weekly has given a big candle, but that M type structure could happen. Now it may seem that it can go from here itself, but even if you get a feel M होके it can even fall up to the जहाँ पे वो line mark है 993. I have a small position here, but I have not a small position, significant position. But let's see, because I bought on Arli ka VCC and I thought momentum would carry. But again, I was trying to play on the structure. Now if you see on a higher time frame, probably on D, if you see, it's making higher highs and higher lows on D. But now if we go on the internal structure, that's nothing but I actually learned through a long time. This is nothing but a lower time frame structure, where we usually can time our entries, or we start picking from the ETFs, the trends and everything, the change of trend or change of this they used to say. So यहाँ पे जब it made a higher high, breaking that particular high, usually I love to see a VCC near the higher high, but over here higher high, VCC के यहाँ पे होता है, तो that's the beautifulest place ever. And but the BSE के जैसे we were discussing about the just now, that stock particular thing, जब ऐसे होता है, you get that M thing, and यहाँ पे आता है, and certain times you get it from here, the move, and it just goes away, breaking the high, not getting a push from the high. So usually we get these, many things. This similar thing happened in Lloyd's, engineering, Rico I'm seeing right now Rico, and the same thing happened in BSE. So this particular, and you always tell me to always watch the high, because यहाँ पे we usually get caught. But ठीक है, ये big move का जो relativity आता है, and then relativity का then the final move of M10 which we get, where the STF अपना 10 के ऊपर आता है. So this is what the BSE trade is. I was really eyeing this from a long time. I even traded it for a few capital. I used to do intraday on last month probably, but then I had a chat with you, you told me not to do. Yeah, the structure, good structure. We got some move, but the same thing. If you see, the highs were broken, and same thing. यहाँ पे high break हुआ. The consolidation would have been best within the high, but sometimes when the high breaks off, it goes down. It came down, and then that particular point. यहाँ पे जो वो particular point of higher high होता है ना, that is what I call the concept of last sell. So this is actually my own personal concept. I made it. This is I called it actually. I framed it. This is the concept of last sell. So यहाँ पे what we see is कि trends on smaller time frames. On daily पे how will it look? So daily पे if you see यहाँ पे compression हो रहा है, then I two things here. First thing is that of course I really love to play these big moves because in 4 days it went from 2,800 to 4,000. So basically that's nearing 20-30% moves. But I would remove near the highs, the high of that particular move, nearing 3-2. But of course I try to keep certain things in my back of the mind ke MSTF hai and all those things, M bias coming. So what I'm trying to say is here, this is the concept of my last sell. यहाँ पे I mark my lower high and of the particular time frame, so now M and W are my STF, so D is my ETF. So ETF पे I'm seeing the last lower high, higher high or lower high which was made, and वहाँ पे VCC compression we got a good DC. This is my favorite part. You get the test of that low of the DC, you get a move, then you get inside bars near the 10. You did tell not to be a slave of inside bars, but ठीक है, you did mention we should never be a slave of inside bars. But again, inside bars are really good, but again there are certain concepts like inside bars के help में. Usually I miss on that concept of that M wala structure, but I'll just tell you. But yeah, you remember I asked you about the extensions. You did now in the recent आज का lecture में I joined pretty late. I just tried the link, but you did mention that M10 can happen over there as well, on the ऊपर side जहाँ पे event नहीं है, because your 6M or probably 3M का the moves and DNA moves are pending, so वहाँ पे हो सकता है करके. So yeah, but still I try to objectify a lot through through DNA moves. Like abhi that particular move was of 246%, but the latest move we got was of big percentage moves. So these certain things I try to objectify a lot with the numbers. I try to be efficient with the numbers, and why I try to be efficient with the numbers is that it's just that let's look on the RSI. So यहाँ पे we got a break on 60. That's what I was saying. The RSI got broken. The whole the thing was an uptrend. The RSI it took us up, gave a big move. Now when it came to 50, the RSI was above 40. Then what happened was near that M10 which it gave. So this thing I have noted down in my notes that whenever there is an M10, the RSI of that particular STF is near 60, the RSI is near 60, and that particular STF mostly 99% of the cases gives an 10, M10 probably, and that concept of last sells. So everything if you merge, that could have been a good trade. MSTF I could have played, but okay, I kind of missed it. I am like that only. Let's see marathon. So marathon best trade. It was in my list. It's a blue colored list. So weekly STF, matlab blue color is weekly STF. So yeah. So on daily I did the consolidation was happening within the high, and beautiful consolidation. We got a color coded candle. Beautiful. This is my move. The same thing I've seen in Hind Copper. I've seen in so many stocks. Hind Copper was one of it was Hind Copper, I guess. It was in a range. So यहाँ पे when we got a DC, the RSI went and gave a move towards and gave a reaction towards. We got a push towards 50. That's my favorite most thing. Again, when we get a push towards the test. This is what I call the concept of last sell. I really believe in this. The test, the multiple test. जैसे test होता है, we got few inside bars. It's probably within that the recent color candle, and then we get a move. So and यहाँ पे this is my main doubt is, I understand you told me about the structure, D का structure, you get a CB, then 3 candles off, like that we go. But when I try to objectify, I know it is wrong, but whenever I try to objectify, I get this M thing, and then suddenly we get a move. I understand completely how this thing works, but this thing also becomes sensitive. The structure really on ETF becomes sensitive for me, and with this sensitive structure only I was planning on SWLX. But yeah, the only, not anxiety, but the only cautious or only thing, the backdrop in my mind is that what if that now it has created a M, that last move it comes near the the whole DNA, that the first candle ke low pe to nahi aa jaye. That's how I was that thing was running in my mind. But again, if you see we got a good move. Yeah, this candle would have not been volatile, but this candle again compensated it. It was near the highs. A consolidation would have been better. I wasn't patient enough, but okay, I bought over there on got the move, we got the VCC. Yeah, this area I bought, that small hourly gate control pair. So now if we get over here, we get a push here. This is where I buy. That last thing, जहाँ पे मैंने 1238 के यहाँ पे मैंने mark किया ना, this is where I prefer buying. We get a reaction probably hourly के ऊपर, या probably I like to say consolidation on 1020H, that 1020 bandwidth. Yeah, because 50 is there, so 1020 would have been a good value buy on H. But yeah, this time I'm not gone wholly. So how I trade is I have a Rico Auto. मैं Rico Auto को है ना weekly STF पे buy करता हूँ. I pledge the stock and I try to use the pledge amount to trade the daily STF stocks. But ठीक है, yeah. So this is about how I'm showing on the video. I'm showing that this is how I'm managing list. But yeah, I'm trying to be more efficient with the list. I'm trying to include the events and CB list, because जब भी कोई big drop होता है, I need that event list specifically. But so red list is nothing but your all the M10s, only M10 on D, and the W is nothing but the M10s which is happening on M or W time frame, and later I would like to see them on D. So this is our trade, sir. Do you remember? So this is what I was saying, the concept of last sell. And वहाँ पे जब टेस्ट हुआ यहाँ पे I really don't get this thing buying of 10-20. आपने मेरे को बोला था कि you try to be very efficient with buying like this, because you are watching MW STF and playing those 25-40% moves. But for me, I generally I'm really bad at patience. Like you remember, you know me, like 2 to 3 days I can't hold this particular stock itself. I don't like to hold, because after 2-3 days if it falls, that's a nightmare for me, and I really don't like to sluggish, because capital stuck up ho jata hai. But again this is how I was seeing things. The concept of last sell, we got a VCC, we got the demand. Probably I would like to see them on ATF, that 84 के भाव पे on the high, कि आप एक छोटा कंसोलिडेशन होके बाइंग ट्रिगर बाइंग ऑन द हाई. बट ठीक है, लिक्विडिटी भी नहीं होता. लेट्स सी द RSI. सो गिरा 60 पे टच, अगेन इट फेल, अगेन इट गेव अ मूव ऑन 60. ना 60 पे टच, माइल्ड रिएक्शन आ रहा है. अगेन इफ इट गोज अप, आई हैव माई ट्रिगर ओवर देयर, अलर्ट ट्रिगर, दैट व्हेन एवर इट्स ट्रिगरिंग दैट, एंड वहाँ पे एक छोटा डाउन पुश आ जाएगा, दैट इज़ वेयर आई विल बी एंटरिंग दिस पर्टिकुलर ट्रेड. So that's how I was seeing this particular thing. But again, if you see how the candle is, it is pretty ought to be volatile. These particular areas were tested. That particular area wasn't tested. So जब वो price उधर गया, we got a reaction. So this is what I call the concept of last sell. Yeah. So this is what from the start. I've been watching a lot of Bitcoin charts, 24-hour charts, gold charts, and this is what I've seen. But in Vape, I'm not efficient. Probably I'm thinking first we start on mid cap, small cap, that's the basis, then we'll go for FNO, then we'll go for Bitcoin and 24-hour trades. So yeah, one of the stocks was Geofin. Beautiful stock. Yeah, the M was so clean, but the W is not clean, and D is not clean. But D is if you go structure wise, it's giving me a good VCC near that particular area, and I was just thinking to buy it. But my W, I'm a bit concerned about my W. So I have not entered Geofin. I'll just be watching. Anyways, because you remember that I told you that monthly के first 3 candles, 5 candles. So first 2 candles, I showed you, saw the monthly of Geofin, how short the candle is. But if you see the 3rd or the 4th or the 5th candle, that is where that M deep corrections. When it's going that sway. आपने बोला था कि वो जब वो sway होता है, then we get some exhaustion moves on M. So that's how I would like to see on Geofin. Zuari में क्या ट्रेड था कि ब्यूटीफुल ट्रेड था. इफ यू सी यहाँ पे that's just one keen observance how the demand takes place. I just wanted to show that on W this was really good. आया गया, it came near below 20, then again we got a move, we got a test over there, but the consolidation, I was just seeing the demand to be bought over here, beautiful demand. But again, if you see those candles down move, so volatility has ought to be there. So but still, I was not seeing this red candle, but I still did not buy over there. I just like to go M10 on W, M10 on M10 on W. Later, if that WM10 is happening on DSTF M10, that is where I buy, and that is why I just try to grab because their MW M10s are aligned, so D also I want to align. So so this is what I was saying. Big volatile thing happened, and let's see how it happens. I'll be buying near the high, nearing 398 400 area, and वहाँ पे जो push मिलेगा उसके बाद जो buying होगा, that's how I would like to see. RSI भी 60 touch हुआ है, we got a reaction, again it will touch 60, we'll get a push, this time it will give a move near 398, we'll give a move, we'll get a push 50 पे जाएगा RSI, then we'll see. And reflex में भी I was thinking a particular see of this push thing, even Salasar में भी ये हुआ था. So reflex में भी also went near the high, we got that, we had to endure that. Again it went near the high. That you see the daily वहाँ पे जो demand है, जैसे वो demand है, that's where the price stop, and that's how I entered. These are my beautiful entries. These are the areas I just love these areas, my favorite areas, because उसके बाद जब वो low near the low के वो जाता है, तो it just blasts, the stocks just blast, and just what I want, like 2 days 3 days के अंदर 25-40% move. So this is how I try to be, because मेरा जो मेन मनी है वो ऑलरेडी MSTF में लगा हुआ है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल रिको ऑटो को मैं प्लेज कर लेता हूँ, एंड दोज प्लेज अमाउंट आई कैन ट्रेड फॉर लाइक 4 days. सो दैट्स हाउ आई जस्ट, इट्स नॉट अबाउट बीइंग ग्रीडी, बट आई जस्ट लाइक आई लाइक टू बी मोर बी इन द जोन, एंड मेरे को अच्छा लगता है वैसे ट्रेड करना. सो MSTF वॉज देयर. इवन आई वॉज सीइंग के M के हाइस पे पुश मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा, बट द वे इट गोज, इट्स जस्ट ब्यूटिफुल. So the weekly, so यहाँ पे we got the concept of last sell, we got the VCC. Again जब वो ऊपर वाले areas में touch किया, जैसे वो volatility है, because the way it fell, वो volatility आता है, again it just goes over that, it touches the high. Can you see that big wick over there before that inside bar का move, and it just tests those highs. This is where I call the concept of my last sell. These are my favorite concept. This last sell के concept के बाद, the things really become efficient. You really this thing really becomes a thing, and this is, I really love to have my capital to be here. So this was one of the best examples, but again I wasn't there. And this Zuari also I was seeing the same thing. Maybe again on 400, if we touch, maybe the RSI might come to 60 again we might get a push. It will be above 50 or but between 50 and 60, and then it just breaks, the RSI zooms, and again the RSI might give us M10 on 60, or else sometimes it just keeps going up, like Gallant one. The Goldium, my favorite trades. I really like to buy Goldium, because this was a 3M STF on MSTF again. So that's how I was looking at. So 3M Goldium I was watching since April. I still did not enter. I'm just annoyed with myself sometimes, but I'm just saying to be efficient, one by one thing at a time. So यहाँ पे again we got the move, we got that last sell, test to the demand, and again it came near the demand area. This is where I was looking on W, but I was stuck in Rico Auto over here. I wanted to sell Rico Auto, but my Rico Auto was in big loss, so I just I should have been bought here. It always happens, the end of the day, that I should have done, but even nowadays I'm taking certain decisions like that. I'm taking some swift decisions which are really helping, instead of being I should have done, because now if I would have done, I would have been in profit. So instead of going that, I'm just booking certain, in Themis Medcare also I booked my loss, and I was just rotating capital in other stocks, just not being stuck in one way or the other. So that's how I was seeing things out. Weekly pay, it went above 10. These were the areas I was really interested in. And if you see that concept of last sell, वो वहाँ पे touch हुआ, I was thinking कि वो वापस वहाँ से push देगा, and we might get a 10, but ठीक है, it just kept on rising. So this particular area I'm still a bit कच्चा पक्का. I always believe that 218 पे जो area है वहाँ पे push आएगा, and I always wait. But if I would have been holding, I don't know I would have been holded or what. Of course we could have done pyramiding, But I, again, as I told you, I don't like to do, I'm like 100% in, 100% out, next stock 100% in, 100% out. I just want my monthly to be the best month, like 40, 50, 60, 70% month should be in there, because now my capital is small. I can compound it on a faster mode. But I was thinking, if you see that first color coded candle, on August, so this is what I'm seeing, so the structure, and this is what I bought. This is where the demand came in. Even if you see, yahan pe, if you see, the whole consolidation happened within this. But again, if you see, the demand came from here. Again, we got the correction from here. Again, on hourly we saw that a good DC. So what I'm trying to say is that we can just get a feel of it. We can play the structure on it. Of course, is it extended? 100% it is extended. But we can, be some more agile, and that's how we can play. That's what I was seeing things at. Near the last, that's the particular higher low of that particular move, from 342 to 400. And uske move ke baad, that internal structure, the high it was having. So yeah, so this is Veto switch gear. I know the move is not there. IPO stock, it's trying to endure it. 6 months is actually, I've seen a lot of stocks which are blasting, which are giving 300-400% moves, have 6 months like dead, like 6 months will be giving, a 6-month candle will be just 9% or 10% or below 10% or below 15%, and then they just blast. So what I'm trying to say in this was, on NRL, if you go early, we got a big move, and then we got that correction, and that the whole enduring of that correction, on early, the way this thing went, the way it gave a range, the similar range was found in Veto switchgear, but Veto switchgear doesn't have certain good CBs. But my doubt was, can we consider those Veto switchgear? The CB wasn't there, it wasn't a range, it was a full down mode. Not a compulsion, I just thought of asking you about it. Of course, we have to be in the best ones. Right now, NRL, TK, it went here just like that, from a range breakout there. It did not, wait over there. So maybe, we can see those, BSC type, structures, what I was trying to say. It comes near the low of that particular demand. Then we get a move which takes, daily hai, to V25 ka move aane ke baad, maybe on M10 daily pe we buy the momentum, and that's M10 is my favorite things. I usually buy less on 20 and 50. I usually buy less on value, but I usually prefer more on M10s. Yeah, one of my favorites is Uptown. You did mention about Sonam ka DNS, so Uptown, the best, the beautiful. What I'm trying to say in Sonam was that the continuous candles which we got, and Uptown maybe, back-to-back circuits we got the move, and I really loved the Uptown move. I was even trying to enter over that particular area, but again, as I said, I was waiting a bit more, inside bars, and this particular point you would have said me that inside bars ka slave nahi hona happen. But yeah, I really like to be in those buys. I really love to buy those areas, but I'm just not confident enough. I like to see more, inside bars over there. So this is my SWLX trade, and it came down, it went up. I was seeing that would it give me those that M type structure? It went up, it gave that VCC. Will it give me M type? That fully that move coming down, because that can possibly be right. But over here also it did not come towards 200, support, resistance being support, the change of polarity. But and just we saw certain circuits happening on hourly. So maybe if we get a certain move, as you discussed, in particular one. So even if we get a move from yahan se, if we get a move, this is what I was seeing. जो वो दो candle जो hourly से आया, we got tested. यहाँ से वो गिरा. अभी now on Monday, if we get a move towards the high, probably that would be a good one. But I am also concerned about this particular thing happening. This is my main stuck. I am stuck on this a lot. So how would you endure this? How do I do it? Maybe like this one thing happening, and buying over the here, or how would have been a best buy, or at this particular area. So this is how I was seeing which move to take, which structure, 1, 2, A, B or C, So that's how I was seeing. So this is how I was seeing, and yeah.